Okay. All right. Just a minute. Our PowerPoint. There we are. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. We would like to talk to you that our special annuity specials ended May 17th. And we have very good rates as well right now. They have been lowered, but let us provide you information on our rates for our PNA annuities. We have PNA provider. It is our lifetime annuity with the 5-year single premium surrender charge. Interest rate is 2.25% for 1 year, and then following remaining 4 years, it's at 2%. Also, PNA accumulator. It is our lifetime annuity with 8-year surrender, which has an interest rate of 2%, which is guaranteed for first year, and then it could go up and down. But the guaranteed rate after the first year is 1%. And PNA custom, this is our 2-year annuity, which right now is at 1.15% for the first year. If it's under 50,000, minimum to deposit is $500. If the amount that you would like to deposit with this annuity is 50,000 or above, the interest rate is 2%. We want to note that no commission for agents is provided on a 2-year contract. This is our member. We're providing this service to our members because sometimes people just want to put in the annuity for a short period of time. Tom, anything?
Yes, you'll notice the single premium annuity is called a PNA provider. Then the flexible premium annuity, both the PNA accumulator and PNA custom are flexible premium annuities. But we were calling them the 5-year annuity, the 8-year annuity, and the 2-year annuity, which was kind of misleading in that they're all lifetime annuities, and people thought their annuity was over in 5 years or 8 years. And that's not the case. That's the surrender period. And with the 5-year, that's the interest rate guarantee period. So we decided to go with names rather than the number of years. So we got the provider, the accumulator, and the custom. Again, as Yola mentioned, there's no commission on the custom. That's an accommodation to membership. So anyway.
All right. If we go to now our next slide, on your left, you will see other companies and what they provide on annuities, what the interest rate is provided. I mean, so we are very good. I think we have a very good position on the interest that we're offering on our annuities. As you could see, you know, it's 2% and going down. That means I think our rates are very competitive. Also, on the right side, you are going to see information from Life Annuity Specialist article that appeared on May 5th, 2021, and you see Polish National Alliance in the 7-8 spot, that we're really growing on those annuities in 2020.
Actually, that is both. That's a combination of the annuity premium and the life premium, and that's a nice place to be in terms of the fraternals. But we're really working hard to make sure that we are on that list again for this year's production, and maybe we can move up a little bit.
Yes, and we need your help with it as well.
We do need your help.
All right, that's why we have Spring into Summer Agent Contest that we are offering. And as you see, As you see, ladies and gentlemen, this contest is going to end June 21st, first day of summer. And as of right now, ladies and gentlemen, we have our agent, Ms. Lori Duff-Siggins, at 13 applications submitted, Ms. Mazevsky at 7, Mr. Settler at 6, and then the following agents also with their productions. Also, we have other that we need to recognize that also that submit the application for that contest. The last thing that I would like to talk about is the fraternal insurance counselors. It is a course that Tom will like to start with employees of the PNA as well as the agents that are interested in that course. We had informed you about this course at our last session. And if you're interested, we really like you to sign up for it. And Tom?
Yeah, fraternal insurance counselor is a designation, and the designation comes from the Fraternal Field Managers Association. The Kaplan Financial is the company that we use for the course material, and we're going to be starting this toward the end of June, and it'll go weekly, and we're going to take a chapter at a time and get through, because there's initially a basic course. Well, there's ethics, there's life insurance, there's needs analysis, and then there's advanced underwriting. And so it's a very, very good course for people who are in the fraternal arena, and because it's geared toward fraternal insurance agents. So we invite you wholeheartedly to join us in the study for this. And the cost of the course is $49, and PNA will reimburse you when you successfully complete the course. So you can do this at no cost. So and again, the material is really, really good.
Yes, and also it counts towards your continuing education.
Yeah, you get continuing education for it also.
Yes, which I need to do. All right, and now this is all the information that I have from my side, and now I'm turning over to you, Tom.
Okay, well, thank you, Yola. Good afternoon, everybody. We've got a bunch of material to cover this afternoon, and it's fairly varied. But the first thing I'd like to do is talk about financial literacy. And there's an organization called LIMRA, which is Life Insurance Marketing Research Association. And they do a lot of different studies and surveys and that type of thing in the insurance industry and in the financial services industry. And they had a financial literacy quiz that they gave, and what they found was that just 1 in 8 have a high level of financial literacy. They gave this quiz to 1,000 American adults, and what they found aligns itself with the self-reported from prior tests that they did, and only 12% said they have a high level of knowledge, and a third of the consumers answered 3 or fewer questions correctly. And on the average, only 4 questions were answered correctly by Americans. So, is there a way to get that out there?
Yes.
Okay, new research. There's a study that they do every year. It's called the Insurance Barometer Study. And in 2021 study shows that only about a third of the consumers reported a high level of knowledge about life insurance. Women and baby boomers reported the lowest levels of knowledge. I'm a baby boomer. I suspect there's a couple of baby boomers on this session today. And the power of knowledge is illustrated by the fact that 41% of those who said they're very or extremely knowledgeable do own life insurance, while just 19% of non-owners say the same. So today, life insurance is at an all-time low. That's the bad news. The good news is that that means there's a lot of opportunity for us to fill in the blanks. Just 52% of Americans own life insurance, and many more don't have enough coverage. So there are 102 million uninsured and underinsured Americans who actually believe they need more life insurance. There's a market there. So there's a connection between financial literacy and saving for retirement also. That does not just have to do with life insurance. Even controlling for age and household income, those who rate their knowledge of financial products are nearly 30% more likely to be saving for retirement. So when you consider that less than half of American workers are confident they will be able to live the retirement lifestyle they want, it's clear that there's a lack of financial knowledge. So, and they depend on us for answers, and we need to know what we're doing, and we need to be able to help them. So here's the quiz, and I thought I'd go through it with you. It's it's late in the afternoon, and you've had your lunch and you're probably ready for a nap, but here comes a quiz. First question: suppose you had $1,000 in a savings account and the interest rate was 2% per year. After 5 years, how much would you have in the account if you left the money to grow? $102, more than 102 but less than 110, 110 or more than 110, or you just don't know. Maybe you're not sure. Well, here comes the answer. You'd have more than $110 because you're compounding interest at 2% every year. Survey results: 41% of Americans answered correctly. That means that 69% didn't answer correctly. Okay, I'm just waiting to make sure that you know that you're following my math, because it's actually 59%, not 69%. Just want to see if you're awake. Okay, so the next question: what's the chance of a 20-year-old worker becoming disabled before retirement? Is it less than 10%? Is it somewhere between 10 and 20%? Is it greater than 20%? You're not sure, or you don't know. Well,
I would pick the 10 to 20. That was my first choice.
10 to 20. Okay, so the answer is greater than 20%.
I'm wrong.
See, so it's, and the reason for that is because there's greater exposure between age 20 and age 65.
True.
The older you get, the less chance there is that you're going to be disabled by age 65. So 23% of Americans answered correctly. There's a little trend here. Which of the following statements describes term life insurance? Select all that apply. It's initially more expensive than whole life for the same amount of coverage. Is appropriate when you have a specific need for life insurance that will go away. Accumulates a cash value that you can borrow against, and none of the above. Not sure, don't know. I gotta tell you what, if you're in the insurance business and you don't know this one, shame on you. So the answer is appropriate when you have a specific need for life insurance that's going to go away. 31% of Americans answered correctly. They just don't know. Your new job offers a 401k. Your employer provides a 50% match up to $2,000. How much do you need to invest? 0, 500, 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, not sure, don't know. Okay, so this is kind of a math question. And the answer is 4,000. So 50% of that is 2,000. That's how you maximize what your employer will contribute. 32% of Americans answered correctly. That means an awful lot of people got it wrong. And I don't know if they just don't have the math skills or if they just really don't know. But we need to talk about financial literacy. If you were to invest $1,000 in a stock mutual fund, it would be possible to have less than $1,000 when you withdraw money. Is that true, or is that false, or you're not sure? Well, the answer is it's true. 71% of Americans answered that one correctly. That's a pretty good score. They do know their mutual funds at least a little bit. Question: the federal government mandates that all Americans have health insurance. True, false, not sure, don't know. It's not so much that they mandate that you have health insurance. They just ding you if you don't. So the answer is false. 32% of Americans answered correctly. Annuities are financial products that can provide a series of payments to a person for as long as he or she lives. True, false, not sure, don't know. We talked about this in our last session, so hopefully you know the answer to that. The answer is true. 59% of Americans answered correctly. Individuals are required to spend their entire health savings account balance by the end of the year or forfeit the balance. Is that true, false, or not sure? Well, the answer is false. They don't have, they changed that a while back ago, and they can carry it forward. So 30% of Americans answered correctly. Last question: credit cards have greater consumer protection features than debit cards. You would hope. Debit card goes right into your bank account, right? You would like to see that that's protected. But the answer, true, false, not sure. The answer is true. The credit cards have more protections. And 53% of Americans answered that correctly. So the point is that there's an awful lot of people out there that don't have a real good grasp on their financial literacy. And it's really kind of our job to help them out to answer those questions for them. So, having gone through the financial literacy, I would like to show you life insurance at its best. And what I'm going to show you here is what we used to call live, die, quit. And it was a presentation that I made hundreds of times on a yellow pad, and I'm going to do this step by step with you. In what we called it was a self-completing. We used to say savings plan, but you can't say savings anymore. But it's a self-completing plan, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So, what I would do first with the client is I would draw a line down here, starting at their age 35. And the assumptions here are that I've talked to this 35-year-old. The person needs $250,000 of life insurance and can spend about $200 a month. So I've got that all down before I'm doing this. So I'm going to draw the lifeline. And here you are at age 35. Here you are at age 55. And I'm going to draw this line out to age 67. And the reason I do that is because 67 is the age that you need to work to now to draw 100% of your Social Security benefit. Now, you can take Social Security before then, but you're going to take a lower payment amount. And you can lose up to 30% of your monthly benefit if you take your Social Security early. The other thing about it is that if you wait past age 67 to take your Social Security, the amount of your monthly payment will go up 8% every year for 3 years, 67 to age 70. So that's something to keep in mind when you're doing your planning for retirement. If you have longevity in your ancestry, you might want to wait till age 70 so that you can get the higher benefit. So now here we are, and like I said, we've got $184.50 a month. And I'm not going to talk about life insurance for a bit, but what I want to show is that if you put $184.50 a month, and that's $2,214 annually, away from age 35 to age 67, you're going to have $70,848. And that's the money you would have if you took $184.50 a month every month and put it under your mattress. So that's 32 years of $2,214. Okay. So, but what is available to you, and you have retirement goals. And what's available to you for your retirement at that point is $102,429. And we all know what that is. That's a cash value at age 67. So you could take that money in a lump sum if you wanted to. And if you do that, though, you're going to have a gain of $32,000 that you're going to have to pay income tax on. And it's your regular income tax, whatever you are, at whatever tax bracket you're in at that point in time. The other way you can do this is take this and use it as a monthly income and spread that tax burden out over a period of time. And so you have a cost basis of $70,000, and you have another $32,000 gain. And like I said, you can spread that out over a monthly income so that you don't have to pay the income tax on that all at once. Excuse me. So age 67 is a long ways out. Let's back that up to age 55. And what you've put in under the mattress is $44,280 at that point. What's available to you is $46,522. So what's been happening is, since day one, since you started money, you started paying putting the $184 in, this line starts to go up. Now, it doesn't go straight up like this. It starts out kind of slow, and I couldn't draw that on the PowerPoint, so you'll have to bear with me. It really kind of takes off slowly and starts to go up later, faster in the later years. So, but the question then is, what do I do with that $46,000? Well, you could take a loan against it if you had an opportunity that you wanted to do some business investing, or if you wanted to buy a cabin up north. I mean, just it's your money, and you can take a loan against that. And if you do take a loan against that, there's really no loan application. There's a loan request form, yes, but there's no loan application. So nobody asks you any questions if you want to take some of that money out in a loan. But and then as you pay, it keeps going up, and you'll have $102,429. So if I go to Edward Jones or Raymond James or someplace where I want to invest my money, couldn't I do better than that? Well, yes, you could, and you might not do as well. But what's really been going on is, if something happened to you, even after you paid 1 month of $184, your beneficiary would receive $250,000. Okay, and even after you paid $184, 5 days later, you got hit by a Mack truck, we pay that $250,000, and if you have accidental death benefit, we'd pay another $250,000. So that would be $500,000 to your beneficiaries, and you've paid $184. So let's say that you've gone out here a couple of years and you've paid $2,200 for like 4 years. You've put in $8,800 with Raymond James. You'd get back $8,800 plus interest, which would come nowhere near $250,000. So, so you have a benefit there. And see this line, because of the dividends, that By the age 67, that death benefit is $273,249. Okay, so again, I am doing this step by step with the client. And like I said, I've done it hundreds of times with clients, and I've done it hundreds of times in training new agents. It's just the easiest way to explain to people how insurance works. But I'm not finished. Let's say you are paying premiums for 10 years, and something happens. And I would draw this line, then I draw this line. So something happens. And you're sick or you're injured, you're disabled, you can't work any longer. With this program, you would pay another 6 months. And at the end of 6 months, if you still couldn't work, PNA would refund that 6 months to you and start paying the premiums for you. Okay. And if you were disabled between here and here, PNA has been paying these premiums and this line just keeps going up. And if you go back to work here, this is where you start from, and you don't owe anybody any money. You just start your premium payments from that point forward. You go out, if you're still disabled at age 65, the policy becomes paid up at that point, even with term insurance, as Yola pointed out earlier today. If you have a term insurance policy and it's 20 years and you get to the 20-year payment, the policy will stay in force all the way up to age 65, and then it will become, you'll still get the exact same benefit you have at age 65, all the way until your life expectancy. So again, with this program, if you live to a ripe old age, if you die too soon, if you become sick or injured and disabled, you have a self-completing plan. And one of those things, or more than one, is going to happen. So we have a self-completing plan. And like I said, when I finish with this on a yellow piece of paper, yellow pad, people would often ask me if they could keep it because nobody had ever explained insurance to them that way. But this is how it works. Very basically, this is how it works. I would also show, if you take a loan here, what happens is this line goes down, but it keeps going up as you pay the premiums. And you can actually pay this loan back, and you're paying yourself back and still have the $102,000 up here when you retire. If you took $10,000 out and never repaid it back up to age 67, you'd have $92,000 left. So where did I get these figures? Well, this is the second page of the illustration, and here I am at age 67, and illustrated values, non-guaranteed, death benefit being $273,000, the cash value being $102,429. The age 20, this is the first page, shows below age 35 preferred non-smoker premium for $250,000, $184.50, which is $2,214 a year. But down here at age 20, end of year 20, age 55, we have a death benefit of $260,000 and a cash value of $46,522. Okay, so that's where those numbers come from. Very simple way to explain it to people, and they get it, and they're grateful to have the information. Okay, so we're going to talk about the features of life insurance. First of all, cash value life insurance is the only financial product with the flexibility to provide benefits if you die, if you become disabled, and if you live to retirement. And the source of retirement, you can have a lifetime income, an income that you can't outlive. So when you're doing your retirement planning, cash value life insurance brightens your financial picture with flexibility, accessibility to the cash value, and tax deferred growth of an immediate death benefit and an immediate death benefit. So the source of income at retirement, the cash value is available. We talked about that already. You can take it in a lump sum by surrendering the policy. It can be converted into a guaranteed lifetime income. We didn't talk about this, but you can just leave the money there and keep paying premiums, or you can leave the money there and periodically withdraw dividends. And then once you've reached your cost basis, you can start taking loans against the policy. You need to make sure that the policy stays in force, however, or you will have a tax issue. Retirement income protection. You can elect the maximum life annuity pension option. Now this gets into the pension max option, the pension maximization strategy. So when you get out to retirement and you have these options of taking a 10 or a 20 or 30-year certain payment, or a refund payment, or a life payment only, what you can do is take the best income that you can get, and then you've got life insurance to protect it if you don't live long enough to collect all the money. So you take the highest, like I said, if you've got a lot of longevity in your DNA, you might want to take a higher payment and use the life insurance to pay your spouse if you don't make it through.
Actually, I had a client yesterday. She was deciding on her pension benefits, and that was exactly what she did. She said that she would like to get the higher amount, and that higher amount she wants to purchase life insurance. She wants to purchase life insurance, and I have calculated for her that it would be like over $100,000 that she will be able to purchase for that amount. And she also was talking to her husband. It's just she wasn't sure because he already picked the lower options, and she wasn't sure if she's able to go back to change that. I don't think so, but she was supposed to check with the pension plan, the company that she has that set up, but that's exactly what she did.
Okay, and again, I mentioned earlier that that's what they used to call a pension maximization strategy, and we'll cover that again at a later date. So, and the last thing we have here is accelerated death benefits. PNA makes it possible for policyholders to collect a portion of the policy's death benefit early if the policyholder is terminally ill. And we looked at the rider in the policy, and it's often referred to as a living benefits rider. And it has an accelerated death benefit of 50% of what the face amount is. So if the person is terminally ill, they can actually reach some of the money that's in the death benefit. We don't say enough about that.
Yes, and also this is one of, besides the illustration, if a client is receiving the policy, they have to sign the illustration page and return it back to us. And also that living benefit rider is one of the forms that also requires the signature. And I have quite a bit of agents asking me, what is this about, that living benefit rider? But this is a very, very good rider as well.
Okay. So your sources of retirement income, you have Social Security. And the interesting thing about this is that the average retired worker in 2021 receives an estimated $1,543 monthly benefit. That's about $18,000. And that represents 40% of the average pre-retirement income. So if we do the math here, that's $46,000. So the income goes from $46,000, and if all you're depending upon is Social Security, you go from $46,000 to $18,000. So you're either going to have to work longer or reduce your standard of living substantially. The other source is employer-sponsored plans, the IRAs. And again, the thing about employer-sponsored plans and IRAs, you have a maximum contribution limit to these things. And sometimes you reach that maximum contribution, and what else are you going to do? So the third source of retirement income is home ownership and personal retirement savings. So a lot of people at one point in time tried to build up home equity, and that sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't work. If you use your home equity, where are you going to live? So that's a problem there. But there's also personal retirement savings, bank savings, brokerage accounts, insurance, and annuity contracts. And of the primary sources of retirement income, personal retirement savings is the one over which we exercise the most control. Kind of reminds me of a lady that used to live next door, and we were talking about diets. And she says, you know, what I put in my mouth is one of the things I can control. So I'm very careful about what I eat. I thought, oh boy. Anyway, so features of cash value life insurance. First of all, it's immediate death benefit. And I mean, that's what most people think about life insurance, is an immediate death benefit. Income tax-free benefits paid to your family. And you'll see this a couple more times. Income tax-free. It's not necessarily estate tax-free. So you can't say it's a tax-free benefit. You can say it's an income tax-free benefit. As a matter of fact, if you're not careful and you have a large amount of life insurance and you have a large estate, the life insurance amount is added to the estate, and that can create additional problems in estate tax. So if you got somebody with a lot of money who's buying life insurance from you, you want to make sure you know what you're doing with the estate tax. So, but it's income tax-free. It's not just tax. You can't say tax-free, income tax-free. There's tax-deferred growth. Under the current law, the annual growth of the cash value is not subject to current income tax, and that's an advantage. Flexibility, here it's talking mostly about universal life. Certain types of cash value life insurance allow you to increase or decrease your premium payments or make large single premium payments. Now, we do have a single premium whole life policy, and it's competitive. I've looked. It stacks up nicely to other single premium policies that are out there. Access to cash values. And again, we're going to do wealth transfer at some point in time using single premium whole life. We'll do that in the next one or two sessions that we have in the Zoom meetings. Access to cash values. You can borrow or you can withdraw. You can withdraw dividend values. You can withdraw cash values in universal life, but you can do it prior to 59 and a half, as opposed to an annuity, without any kind of tax penalty. Okay, so you remember I talked about the cost basis of $70,000 in that policy. Anytime there's a cost basis in there, you can take the cost basis out without paying income tax. Ownership, you own the policy. You can change the beneficiary, you can change how it's paid, you can even change the ownership if you want to. But it's not affected. You own it. It's not affected by what your employer does or what Social Security does or anybody else. Disability protection. And that's where I showed you down below the box that I made. If you become disabled, the waiver premium benefit can take over your premium payments for you. And then there's tax advantaged retirement income. The cash value in the policy can be converted to retirement income that is partially or fully free from federal income tax, and you can make it last a lifetime. So tax issues, tax deferred growth, Tax court has held that cash values are not constructively received. So there's no constructive receipt of the increase in cash value. So there's no taxation of that. FIFO, taxation of withdrawals. And I've talked about this before, but I didn't call it by its name. FIFO stands for first in, first out. And that's an accounting term. There's FIFO and there's LIFO. LIFO is last in, first out, which means if for instance you have an annuity and you're putting money into it and you've got a gain and you take some of that money out, that's considered last in, first out. So you're going to pay income tax on the money that you pull out of there. With life insurance, it's FIFO, first in, first out. When you develop the cost basis in your life insurance policy, you can pull that out as long as you have enough cash value to do so. You can pull out your cost basis without any taxation. That's first in, first out. Also, policy loans are income tax free. So once you have some value built up in your policy, you can take a loan. The nice thing about loans is that you can put them back in over a period of time. So you're actually borrowing money from yourself. As long as the policy is not a modified endowment contract, it's not a taxable event. Income tax-free death benefit. Again, that money flows to your beneficiaries, income tax-free, not necessarily estate tax-free. So income tax-free accelerated death benefits. And that's what I was talking about, the 50% of the death benefit if you are, if the insured is terminally ill. So again, the sources of retirement income: Social Security, employer-sponsored plans, home ownership, personal retirement savings. And this is the area where we have the most control. So benefits of life insurance can provide your family and your business with an immediate source of income if the person dies, but also supplemental income later on if your needs change. Lots of times high income earners get maxed out in their contributions to a qualified retirement plan. Personal savings, Social Security, like I said, Social Security is not one of the things that you have control over, but your personal savings you do. So ask yourself, is it going to be enough to maintain your standard of living? And how much am I going to lose to income tax? Do I need the income tax advantages of the life insurance policy? In terms of the taxation, excuse me, this happened the last time too. I get going on it, lose my voice.
I know, and I just want to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, that after our meeting, if you would like to receive this PowerPoint, we'll be more than happy to send it to you and provide you that PowerPoint as well. We will have the recording as well.
Good. Okay, so we can help in three distinct ways with life insurance: income tax-free death benefit, tax-deferred cash value, and income tax advantage distributions. So the mechanics: you pay the premium, covers the cost of the policy. This talks about excess premium payments, but we don't do that right now. Eventually, we will be able to do that. Working on that. So if you die before you retire, you have a death benefit for your beneficiaries. Accumulated cash value is growing tax deferred while you're paying premiums. When you retire, you can access that cash value for your retirement income. You can do withdrawals, and you can do tax advantage loans, or you can do a lifetime income. You can turn it into a lifetime income. And those things are guaranteed in the policy. They're in a contract. And that's an important thing to know. So you can access accumulated cash values, add riders for greater protection and flexibility The accidental death benefit and the waiver of premium that we talked about are riders. There's an additional cost to them. When I was selling insurance, I used to quote the premium with those benefits in it, and I would tell them there's an additional cost, but that's already included in the premium that I quoted you. Possible delay taking Social Security benefits, potentially increasing your monthly payout. As I mentioned before, 67 is 100%, and you can make it go up 8% every year if you wait till age 70. So if you've accumulated enough money that you don't need to take your Social Security between ages 67 and 70, you can let that go up. And again, if you have longevity, that's a good plan. Okay, so some considerations. You should have sufficient liquid assets before you start taking money out of your life insurance policy. Use only assets that will not be needed for living expenses during your lifetime to pay for life insurance. If your financial or legacy strategy situation changes, you can't make premium payments anymore, then that can be a problem. But there's always reduced paid up insurance also. You don't want your life insurance death benefit to terminate because that's what you've been putting the money into it for. You want it to be there when you die. It may be reduced because you've been taking money out for retirement, but there's still a death benefit. And that death benefit is income tax free to your beneficiary. As always, we are not tax or legal advisors. We're insurance people. So when you're talking to people about tax situations, make sure that they know that they should consult their advisors. So we have about 10 minutes. This is kind of a cool presentation, an IRA conversation. And I'll go through it. And if you have any questions, feel free to call. I enjoy talking to the agents and talking about strategies and tax situations, ownership situations, beneficiary situations, whatever it might be. So let's say you have an IRA and it's a substantial IRA and you're not using it for income right now. You have a pension plan, you have Social Security, and your standard of living is being met, and you don't need it. You don't need to take money out of your IRA. Well, there's a required minimum distribution that you do have to take out. But even if you do use some of it, where's that money going to go? Well, there's three places it can go. Your loved ones, a charity, if you have a favorite charity, it might be a school, might be church, might be the diocese, might be any number of things. But the last one is government. And let's cross out the one that you least want the money to go to. So you would certainly cross out G. Okay, so why haven't you already arranged to have that happen? If things go the way you planned, what's going to happen to your IRA? And why haven't you given it to the kids already or to the charity? So let's say you have an IRA of $300,000. Well, all of that money is taxable because you accumulated that money before tax dollars. So you pay the tax, and your beneficiaries would get $200,000. That's a current plan because you haven't really done any planning about it. So I'm going to make a 3-point value proposition. We're going to keep your IRA in your care. All right. We're going to potentially double or triple the value of your legacy, and we can take you're going to take no additional investment risk in your portfolio. Would you be interested in talking to me about that? Okay. Well, the solution number one is the IRA income tax offset. So you've got the $300,000 IRA. We're going to purchase $100,000 of life insurance to pay the taxes. Your beneficiaries are going to get the full $300,000 because we're using this money to pay off these taxes. So a male age 65 and non-smoker, and if we use 100,000, actually that person could get preferred rate if they're really healthy. But I use non-smoker just for illustration purposes. They use an LP90 policy. Premium is $3,842 annually, or 1.3% of the IRA value. And believe me, I know that you have to take out more than that on a required minimum distribution. So all we're going to use is a little bit of that to take care of this $100,000 in taxes so that your beneficiaries can get the whole thing. Solution 2, we're going to eliminate the income tax entirely, and we're going to create a really nice legacy. So we buy $300,000 of life insurance, and that takes care of the beneficiaries. They get a full $300,000, which was the amount of the IRA. What we're going to do is have this IRA go to the charity upon my death. So there's no taxes here at all. So the $300,000, and I might need, if I need some of that, I can use it, but the charity is going to get the rest of it. And the beneficiaries, the kids, are going to get the full $300,000. So now we have a tax-free total of $600,000 that we've created. $300,000 to the charity, $300,000 to the beneficiaries. Male age 65, non-smoker, $300,000 is $11,412 annually, or 3.8% of the IRA value. So I would say, I would talk about doing this and say, okay, we're going to use 3.8% of the IRA value. I wouldn't mention the premium. How's that sound? Well, 3.8 isn't so bad. Well, that's $11,000 of premium on a $300,000 policy. Okay, so 3 times what the beneficiaries would have received. The beneficiaries are better off by $100,000, and the charity is better off by $300,000. So going back to my 3-point value proposition, we kept your IRA in your care. If you need it, you can reach it. We doubled or tripled the value of your legacy, and you've taken no additional investment risk in your portfolio. Does that make sense to you? Okay, so if you know somebody who's got some money in an IRA, it doesn't have to be $300,000. It could be $200,000. It could be $100,000. They're going to have to pay tax on that money. The beneficiaries are going to have to pay tax on that money, and you can help with that. And you can even do better than that. You can help through charity also. So, thank you for joining us today. Go boldly forward. I don't know if we have a few minutes. If you would like to, we can open it up for any questions anybody has right now.
We'll stop sharing, and then absolutely, please let us know. Any questions?
Okay, we will make this available to you, and if you would like a copy, just let us know, and we'll get you a copy of the PowerPoint.
Mr. Stockton?
Yeah, very well put.
Thank you. It's a lot of information, but it's really good stuff. And we may not be financially illiterate, but there's a lot of people that need help. So, and life insurance is a great product. We need to get the word out to people.
Yeah, I've been in the business quite a few years with another company before I retired from them, but I used a lot of these same ideas that you just presented and refreshed my memory. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. And a little refresher is always good. I can't tell you how many times I've said these things. So I'm very passionate about the life insurance business, and very passionate about what life insurance can do for people. So I'm very willing to spread the gospel.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Stockton. Thank you. But yeah, I really like that option too. It kind of like that, when I saw it, like those numbers, that really made sense. That really made sense. Any additional questions?
Okay, well, thank you again for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That was pleasure. And like I said, please do email us if you would like to get a copy of this presentation, or even the full training, recorded training that we're doing. And
See you next time.
see you next time.
Take care, Dennis.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.